So is Elon Musk going to get rid of the IRS? We've seen a lot of rumors floating around about this. And we've got a new administration coming in whose new pledge right now is to get rid of a lot of the bureaucracy we've dealt with for years in government. I'm down at Bordeaux and I'm going to dive into a little bit more about what this could look like. I'm going to give you my vision of what I hope will happen. Whether that's a pipe dream or not, you can decide. The new administration that's coming into play in January 2025 is going to revitalize and I think kind of get rid of a lot of the garbage we've been dragging around for years, I hope. And one of those big pieces of garbage that we've been dragging around is the IRS. I'm not here to say the IRS is a bad thing. I think we do need some controls. Without them, people will go crazy. But what their aim is to do right now is just, in my opinion, a little off course of where we should be. The IRS, in my opinion, should be an organization that's there to help people, not to play government mafia and chase down people and use political ploys to come after people. That's all just a sidetrack of what our government should be doing. The purpose of the IRS is to make sure that people are held accountable and that they're honest. But the bigger problem is people try to be honest, but they just can't interpret what the IRS even wants. And the IRS has shown they don't even know what to do. Congress gives them information and tells them these are the laws, draw up how we're going to do it. It'd be kind of like saying, my kid drew a picture of this house. I want to give it to a contractor and say, build this, and it better look just like this. And, by the way, I'm not going to tell you what I intended any of this to mean. That'll be up to you to interpret. That would be a mess. And that's what we're dealing with now. We have the new administration coming in with a new Department of Government Efficiency. Now, I hope they remember some basics here and they take into account that it's not just efficiency. It's also effectiveness. So we can be really, really super great at making buggy whips and we can automate the whole process. But it's not an effective use of our time because nobody needs buggy whips. We're not in the horse and buggy age anymore. So we have to take both of these into account. The problem with the IRS initially is they won't come forward in technology. We're using like 1970s and 80s programming language that are like speaking in Latin over there. They've got to get with the times, get some technology in place that can update it. And what holds them back is they're so fearful. They have analysis paralysis that they can't move forward. I recognize they're dealing with some humongous safety concerns about privacy and about issues, but the bigger problem is you take a 1980s computer system, how safe is that? It doesn't have any of the cybersecurity concerns that we need to be having involved right now. So we have got to modernize this. And I'm not talking modernize it to 1990 standards. I'm talking about now. There are a lot of really simplistic things the IRS could be doing with real computer systems that you and I could do in Excel and Google Sheets today to figure out where problems are. But that's not what the IRS is charged with right now. They're charged with trying to find cheaters. And by trying to find cheaters, they're missing the big picture of the low-hanging fruit of what could be done. So my vision, and I hope it's the same, is that the IRS kind of needs to be burnt down and rebuilt in the right way. Honestly, it would be cheaper for our government to say, look, don't file taxes for 3 years. Nobody. File taxes for 3 years. We're going to give you a delay, and we're going to rebuild this thing from the ground up. Now, I know that may sound outlandish, and that would be terribly hard to get through in bureaucratic times. But if you or I had a small business that looked like what the IRS looked like, we would burn that thing down and start over. And that's really what we need. We've got to be able to move this country into the future. We're talking about things that can't be just duct taped together anymore. It's time to burn it down. So Elon, I'm going with you here. I think we got to burn this thing down and start it over again. And we're going to have to make some rash decisions about how our government operates to get it there. We can't just keep doing what we've been doing and say, we'll throw some money at the problem and get some old programmers who can build in what we have. We got to modernize this. And so from that standpoint, I think our government would be more efficient to just get rid of the IRS altogether. I mean, I think that we could go to an alternative tax system, but again, I'm talking unicorns here, which would be really hard to do with the old systems we have in place regarding government, not only IRS. So I'm excited to see what Elon and Vivek pull together and what they can do to really get in there and get under the hood and make some change. I think that our focus of our country right now, there is some hope that we haven't had in a really long time, that things will change and change for the better, modernize our whole country. I think that's our new approach. So I'm here to do that. I've been doing that in the accounting world for a long time, and I wish that our government was as nimble as I can be here to move business forward. But hopefully we got a new dose coming in, and I look forward to seeing the progress. Tell me what your thoughts are. What do you think Elon should do first? What do you think the Trump administration should attack and fix or resolve? I'm looking to hear your ideas, so feed them in the comments here, and I'm watching. I'm going to comment back. Thanks.